Dear students, how are you? Okay, our today's portion, working of the heart. The heart beats continuously with a rhythm. Continuous and rhythmic beating is a characteristic feature of the heart. Initiation of the contraction and relaxation of the heart and regulation of the rate of heartbeat are controlled by the sinoatrial node. It is located on the right atrial wall. Sinoatrial node or SA node located on the right atrial wall. As it functions like an electric cell, it is known as pacemaker. Initiation of the contraction and relaxation of the heart and regulation of the heartbeat are carried out by the special muscles of sinoatrial wall or SA node, sinoatrial node or the SA node at the anterior part of the right atrium. This part is called pacemaker. In this diagram, we can show an equipment. This is called artificial pacemaker. The pacemaker has to function properly to the heart to beat rhythmically. Otherwise, the heartbeat will become non-rhythmic. This can be life-threatening if not resolved. However, nowadays it is not a problem. Medical science has made possible to implant the artificial pacemaker beneath the skin through surgery. The artificial pacemaker has two parts. The first part is the pulse generator. The second part is the mechanism which transmits electric signals from the first part to the heart. An American electrical engineer, William Greatbatch, introduced the artificial pacemaker. Artificial pacemaker surgeries have been conducted since 1960. In this diagram shows the artificial pacemaker. If our heart's normal functioning is not conducted properly, this artificial pacemaker act as a exact pacemaker. It helps to the contraction and relaxation of the heart. In our previous class, we study different parts of the heart and its functions. Now we can identify which is the chambers of the heart and which is the main arteries and veins. In the we can show different chambers. This region is the right atrium. This is the left atrium. This is right ventricle. This is the left ventricle. And then this is the superior vena cava. This is the inferior vena cava. And this one is the pulmonary artery. This is the pulmonary veins. And then this is the main artery, aorta. Then in the right side we know one valve is here, that is the tricuspid valve, and this side we can see another valve, that is the bicuspid valve. We know the heart is divided into four chambers. The two upper chambers of the heart are called the right atrium and the left atrium. The two lower chambers of the heart are called the right ventricle and left ventricle. The superior vena cava and inferior vena cava carry deoxygenated blood to the right atrium of the heart. Blood flows from right atrium to right ventricle through the open tricuspid valve. When the ventricle fills, the tricuspid valve shuts. The blood flows the left ventricle through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery for oxygenation. The pulmonary vein carry oxygenated blood to the left atrium. The blood flows from the left atrium into the left ventricle through the open mitral valve or the bicuspid valve. Blood leaves the left ventricle through the aortic valve into the aorta and to the body parts. One illustration is given in our textbook. This rectangular box represents the heart. In the first one shows the right atrium. Then this is the left atrium. Then this is the right ventricle. This is the left ventricle. 4 chambers of the heart. Then one valve between the right atrium and the right ventricle, that is the tricuspid valve, and the one valve between the left atrium and left ventricle, that is the bicuspid valve. Then vena cava, mainly two vena cava are present, superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. This vena cava collects blood from different parts of the body. It carries deoxygenated blood to the right atrium. When the right atrium contract, this tricuspid valve open, blood flow to the right ventricle. Then this valve prevent the backward flow of blood. Then right ventricle contract, the blood flows to length through the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary veins, it carry oxygenated blood or purified blood from the lens to left atrium. Then when left atrium contracts, this pure blood flows to the left ventricle through the bicuspid valve. Then ventricle contracts, this blood flows to all parts of the body through the aorta. Our today's activity in our textbook, page number 35, illustration 3.3. First you complete its answer in your textbook. After that you copy it in your notebook. Okay.